Adelphi Bank initially started with an idea from Kevin Boyce. Kevin had been discussing this for over a year, and I remember getting the call from him and realizing he was dead serious. And at that point, I thought that he needed to get to someone who had banking experience and banking credibility, and that was Jordan Miller.
Adelphi Bank is just important to our community because as Black people, we need to build strong institutions. So when I got the call from Kevin Boyce to consider being on this board, there was no doubt in my mind that it was important for us to come together and really make it happen for the community and for Black businesses in general.
Adelphi Bank and the formation, the starting, it started with the idea from Kevin Boyce, County Commissioner. Kevin had been involved in a dispute downtown with Black Lives Matter. He got maced along with two other members of our community, prominent members of our community. And he called me and said, "Hey Jordan, I'm thinking about starting a bank. Well, what do you think?" And he had a deck. I looked at it and we just started talking. We started meeting and just discussing the idea of what a bank was.
What we thought was important after securing Jordan Miller as the CEO, president of the bank, was deciding on who would become board members. The Alex Shoemake's name came up, the Michael Coleman, the Karen Morrison, and others, Greta Russell. We talked about core competence.
Banking is difficult, it's challenging. And so there were a number of meetings and as a team. And really Jordan Miller was the key because of his experience as a CEO, banker in the community. Most people don't realize that it takes a 3-year process in order to pass all of the regulatory requirements of establishing a bank. And that's the reason that there aren't as many banks, Black banks, as we would like, because of the barriers, quite frankly, to entry. But the tenacity was there, the commitment was there, and the know-how. Kevin Boyce had the idea, but Jordan Miller had the expertise. We were fortunate that Jordan was willing to come out of retirement because he knew the importance of establishing a Black bank, not only in Columbus, not only in Ohio, but nationally. 23 applicants thought about starting a Black bank nationally. Adelphi was the only one that succeeded. And having someone that had the experience, the knowledge, the commitment, and the know-how through Jordan Miller was indeed our secret. The Boule is really a group of dedicated professionals who are highly regarded in their field of interest. And so it makes a lot of sense that the Boule members, who are not only top professionals, but also we are committed to the community. So being the founders of a Black bank is consistent with the purpose, the goal, the mission of Boule. And that's why the original Adelphi Bank, really a savings and loan from 1921, had Boule members. And as you know, Adelphi has a number of Boule members who are the founders of this great, great institution.
What were the obstacles? The obstacles of starting a bank or taking on a project this size were numerous. Number one was the regulatory environment that we were in. It's a big lift. Getting the right people that could go through background checks, extensive background checks. Being able to raise the money to seed the organization. All of those were challenges, but the obstacle for a Black bank is even greater when you think of where the revenue opportunities are going to come from by serving a community that doesn't have a lot of revenue. And how are we going to pull it off? So there were a number of obstacles, and the way to solve them truly was to get the best minds around the table, and we did that. Not with just a team that we assembled of bankers, but with the board members that guided us and oversaw us. Members that had been part of this community forever, for long, long periods of time. They were the genius behind helping us through the obstacles and helping us think how to overcome some of those obstacles.
My wife Renee is very committed to the community and both of us want to make sure that we have strong black institutions. So when I talked to her about being involved with the bank, it was a no-brainer. She's immediately on board because it requires a very strong and significant financial commitment. But our family was willing to make that financial commitment as well as put in the time, energy, and commitment, dedication to make sure that we were successful. Renee has always been a great partner, committed to Central Ohio. Let's make it better, and let's leave a legacy that really matters.
I think this bank was important to Don and I because we wanted to be a part of something that was revolutionary. There was no other black bank in the state of Ohio. We were few in the country. So we felt that it was worth the investment and worth whatever risk worth taking.
This bank needs to be truly financially viable, and that's because we need to make sure that it's around for eternity. And so continuing to build on our capital, continuing to have deposits, and continuing to be responsive to the needs of a growing community. We want to grow with Central Ohio. I believe with community support, we will.
I really hope the impact it has on young people is to inspire them to say, we can do this. We can achieve that which hasn't been tried before. That we can do it within our community, for our community, with our community.